Have you ever had a private touch you emotionally? Fit fam, what's good? Mick here, back with another video. Today's video, I'm going to be answering some questions. So I recently did a poll in my community tab of YouTube asking for some questions that you might want answered. So in today's video, we're gonna go ahead and answer these questions. But before you do, consider subscribing to my channel. Make sure you like, share, and enjoy the video. So now that we got the introduction out the way, let's go ahead and get into these questions. Now some of these questions are serious and some of these questions aren't, but I'm gonna answer every single question regardless of how crazy they might sound. So let's go ahead and get into these questions. All right. So Julio Valladares, they ask, is water wet? And my answer to you is no, water is not wet. But hear me out. When it touches things, it makes the surface of whatever it touches get wet. So you think about that. So the answer is water is not wet. All right, next question. This question is from your boy Andy, and they say, why do all NCOs say drill sergeants ain't shh? Family friendly video, so I don't do any cussing. Alright, so to answer your question, it's because they're mad they're not drill sergeants. That's the only reason, because there would be no other drill sergeant that would talk bad about another drill sergeant. So your NCOs are probably insecure that either they wasn't selected, they volunteered and didn't get picked because they had bad NCOERs, but they're probably mad they're not drill sergeants, to answer your question. Shani Marie, she asked if I can go over the PT test because it's kind of scary based on her MOS, and she's talking about the Army Combat Fitness Test. Alright, so the Army Combat Fitness Test, basically it's a few events. So you have the 3 repetition max deadlift, you have the standing power throw, the hand release push-up, I think we're going to the T push-up now, sprint drag carry, leg tuck, and the 2-mile run. So you wanted me to go over these events. Basically what I can tell you is, for the 3 repetition max deadlift, work your way up to the weight that you need, especially if you're not big in doing deadlifts. Start off slow. You can use kettlebells, you can use basically anything. Just do weighted squats, and that's gonna help you with that. Standing power throw, kettlebell swings. You're gonna want to make sure you're doing a lot of core exercises. Hip thrusters, that's gonna help. The hand release push-up, or the T push-up, what they're going to just continue to do as many push-ups as you can. Do them before you go to sleep. Do them 3 times a day. Do them every hour on the hour. The best way to get better at that is to actually do them. Then you got the sprint drag carry. Hopefully your cardio game is up. You're gonna want to just practice on dragging litters in the gym, CrossFit equipment they have in there. They have like sleds, all that kind of good stuff. But you're gonna work on dragging things. That's really gonna help, because you're really gonna feel that burn in your quads and your glutes when you go to do that sprint drag carry. Then we have the leg tucks. Like I said, core exercise is going to be your bread and butter. You want to start off maybe just hanging on a bar doing knee raises, and then as you get better, maybe you can do leg raises, as well as actually attempting to do the actual leg tuck, because you're only going to get better unless you attempt to do the actual exercise. And then obviously the 2-mile run is the 2-mile run. You're just going to run as best as you can. I recommend trying to run more than 2 miles to get better, and then also incorporate sprints in your running, and that's going to help 2-mile and with the sprint drag carry as well. Hopefully that answered your question. Now let's get to the next one. All right, Connor Miller asks, why is the sky blue? And that's a simple one. It's because God loves the infantry. Hello. All right, Greg Aneely says, could you do a video of you and other drill sergeants just absolutely smoking someone? Well, first of all, we don't smoke trainees anymore. And I would never do a video with me and my battle buddies just going in and smoking someone, because that would be very unprofessional. Dustin Call, have you ever had a private touch you emotionally? Well, that's a strange question, but I'm going to answer it. The answer is no, because drill sergeants don't have. Alright, Yip. Honest opinion on National Guard and reserves. So, I mean, I'm active duty, so I don't really know all the ins and outs of National Guard and Reserve. But what I would say is, unless you already have a nice job, you know, civilian job, and you're doing great, and you just wanted to get the benefits of the Guard and Reserve, I recommend just going active duty. Just from my opinion, because if you don't have something lined up and you're Guard and Reserve, then I mean you're gonna be still trying to find a civilian job that's gonna be decent enough for you to maintain. So unless you have that, I would go active all the way. All right, next question. LSPD asks, how many uniforms are there? Well, we have the OCPs, we have the ASUs. We just recently got the pinks and greens, or army greens, or what they're calling them, and then we have our APFU. So those are the main ones. Then you got all these other special ones like cook whites, mess whites, and stuff like that. But Google it. There's so many different uniforms and mitch and matchies and calling them different uniforms out there. I can't even keep up. Paul Aaron Oldenario, what drill instructors hate the most? Well, I'm Army, so I'm a drill sergeant, but it doesn't matter. But what we hate the most is a trainee moving at the position of attention. That like really gets under my skin, because you're supposed to be locked tight at the position of attention, key position for all stationary facing and marching movements, and it makes me want to just go ahead into pitching a module right now. But other than that, my biggest pet peeve is bootlaces coming out. I can't stand seeing bootlaces coming out of trainees' boots. All right. Next question. Nate McHenry. How hard is Army basic training, and what is the weight requirement? Army basic is only as hard as you let it be. For the most part, if you just do what you're told and execute to the best of your abilities, you'll be all right. The main thing is to try to be mentally tough, which as you go along in basic, you're going to get mentally tough, because drill sergeant is going to break you down and build you up in the way that Uncle Sam, in a sense, wants you to be. That mental fitness is very key when you show up. I mean, if you show up not physically fit, we're going to get you physically fit. But it would be great if you do show up already fit, you won't struggle as much. Now, as far as how much you have to weigh when you come in, it all depends on your age and how tall you are. There's many factors in there. I recommend Googling how much you have to weigh when you enlist based on your age. Hopefully this answers your question, but sometimes you got to reach out and do a little bit of research yourself. Jacob S. What's the funniest thing you've seen a private do and you've laughed at? So, I'm an AIT drill sergeant right now, and trainees have thousands of questions every minute on the minute. So, I would say trainee would usually, just a general, I'm not gonna like have name specifics, but a trainee would have a question, and within his question, he would answer his own question. And he didn't realize, or she didn't realize, that they answered their own question. So I would have the trainee say their question again and say it super slow. And then I just stare at them until they figure it out. Usually they figure it out and then they're like, yes, drill sergeant, moving out, drill sergeant. And then I just turn to my battle buddies to my left and my right, and we just start rolling on the floor. But I mean, nothing really major stands out. There's always a funny moment. Nothing too specific, just little things that trainees do. Pumpkin, your worst nightmare. That is a strange name. But what is the funniest insult you or your battle buddies say to trainee? Mine was, you look like that one Asian kid from the movie Up. Alright, so we don't insult trainees at all. We treat every trainee with the utmost dignity and respect. But seriously, we don't degrade trainees at all. I couldn't really answer that question. There might be other drill sergeants out there that I would hope they wouldn't do that, but me personally, I don't do that. So I don't have anything that I've said to a trainee that was out of the ordinary. All right, next one, Marcus Crozier. I leave December 30th for Benning. Lost 32. Oh, he's 32. Lost about 165 pounds to get into the Army. I'm only worried. My only worry is APFT or ACFT, which is going to be the ACFT. I've been working my butt off to get in shape before I ship. I hear from others that BCT won't really get me in shape to pass. I know it's really all on me, how hard I work, but wanted to know how often you see people failing the PT test. What's the best thing to focus on now? Anyways, so people fail all the time. These trainees, they're failing left or right. It might be by 1 point, it might be by 30 points they're failing. And this is just the regular 3-event APFT right now. Now, as far as ACFT, the main thing for ACFT that people are failing is the leg tuck, and they're still not doing well on a 2-mile run after doing all those other events. So what I would work on is conditioning your core. You got to get your core super strong and then just continue to run, as in doing long distance running and doing sprints. That's really going to be your bread and butter. And then the rest, when you're not doing long distance running and sprinting or doing core exercises, just standard weightlifting. That's going to help. So hopefully that answers your question. Don't beat yourself too much. Once you get to basic, you are going to get in shape if you're not already in shape. But I would recommend focusing on running and core exercises. Silent Yeet. Is basic training really that bad? So I already answered this question, but I'll re-answer it. It's not that bad. It's only as bad as you make it out to be. If you show up to basic already in a mindset knowing that you're gonna get yelled at, you're gonna get corrective training done on you almost all the time, other people are gonna get in trouble, which is gonna get you in trouble. So if you come into that mindset already knowing that you're gonna do a lot of physically demanding things, then you will be all right as far as mental. Now, if you come in also being in physical shape, then you'll be even more better than showing up not in peak condition. So it's not that bad. Just do what you're told and you'll make it through. King Ant, how long do you have to wait to switch from reserves to active duty? My recruiter told me 3 months. So I don't know the full thing, but I did do a little bit of research on that. It is roughly between 3 to 6 months, and it also depends. This is for Army National Guard and reserves as well, and it also depends on if they give you a conditional release. Talk to your recruiter more. They'll help you throughout that whole process if you're looking to switch over, and I'm pretty sure they have solid answers for you because that's what they do. I'm a drill sergeant, not a recruiter. But hopefully that helps and you kind of have an idea. 3 to 6 months, and just talk to your recruiter and they'll square you away. Alana the Banana, I have a couple questions. Okay. What's the military like? Why do I appreciate the work you guys do so much that I changed my keyboard on my phone to Veterans Standing Together? And how old do you have to be to join? I need answers. All right. So, the military is like a corporate organization of a whole bunch of people. But here's the kicker. We all look out for each other for the most part. The military has great benefits, and I can pitch this whole recruiting spiel to you, but I'm not a recruiter, so I'm not going to do that. What I will tell you is, when it comes to combat, you're going to be in a close-knit family. You're going to be taken care of financially, medically, and that's for sure. You're going to learn a skill that is meaningful, and hopefully the people around you you'll become best friends with, but if not, you're here to do a job. And then she said, I appreciate the work you guys do so much that I changed my keyboard, the phone, and veterans standing together. The reason why you appreciate veterans so much is because they're selfless service. I mean, just answering the call to do what others don't want to do or can't possibly do is just something in itself, just being selfless, you know? So that's probably why you appreciate veterans so much. And then she also said, how old do you have to be to join? Well, 17 with parental consent and 18 without parental consent. You can join the United States Army. All right, next question. Jordan Peters, I aspire to become a drill sergeant. What advice can you give me to reach this goal? Well, to become a drill sergeant, you need to be proficient in all your 10 level tasks. You need to be able to teach like 5 different ways, Barney style, by the numbers, step by step, and you're gonna learn all this in drill sergeant school. And obviously, the main one, you need to be an NCO, sergeant or above. You need to not have any bad hits on your records, as in like felonies and all that other stuff. That's a quick way for them to disqualify you for being a drill sergeant candidate. And your last 3 NCOERs need to be pretty decent. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, episode trending. How do you stay so positive with people hating on you? And this is such an easy one. How do I stay positive when people are hating on me? I don't care. I mean, I do what I like to do. I do what I want to do. And if someone says something bad about it, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, they have a right to their own opinion. And if they get nasty about it, that's between them and God. So it's on them. All right, next question. Beast Mode said, can you touch your toes? Yes, I can touch my toes. He also said, do you believe you can fly? He said he believes he can. No, I believe I can fly in an airplane, but I can't physically jump up off the roof and start flying. But you can try it. All right, Timmy Strings, Sandbag PT or Shambag if you got away with it. I mean, I don't know if that's a question or if that's just a statement, but I've always did the Sandbag PT. Never was a Shambag, you know? Vice Patriot, is Charlie Company the best company and the first of the triple deuce? Oh my goodness, no. How to build endurance to succeed on the 2 mile. So to succeed on a 2 mile, you're gonna want to run more than 2 miles. Because the only way to get better at doing 2 is to run past that 2. You're gonna have to build, that's how you build endurance. You're also going to want to do sprints, 60 120s, 30 120s, whatever 120s, or shuttle sprints. That's gonna really help you out with endurance. Aside of all that physical stuff, nutrition. Proper nutrition is gonna be key. You're gonna have to figure out your nutrition plan along with your exercise routine, but run more than 2 miles for a long distance and then do sprints. And that should help you out. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully I answered everybody's questions. Hopefully y'all see this video and you're like, okay, I'm going to put whatever answer to your question was in motion, or you have a better clarification to your question. And I think we're gonna sign off right here. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and remember, you only got one life. Stay humble, be great. Love yourselves so you can love somebody. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.